Greetings, Tecmo Super Bowl fans. This is Trojan in the booth once again with Ryan11P. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Just excited to be on here calling games with you.
Hey, this is an absolute blast. We have up-and-comer NOS and up-and-comer Randywags. Both of these guys battle through in the tournament here. They're in the losers bracket. This is an elimination game. NOS and Randywags, 14 and 16 seeds. Going at it here. NOS is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Randywags has the San Diego Chargers. So let's get right into it.
So keep in mind, NOS has a very illustrious online career, and he's a Southern guy from Louisiana, plays down there in those tournaments, but does major work online, won multiple championships, great player. And then Randywags, I was just talking to Troy about this a second ago, is one of the most impressive new players that I can remember seeing. So this will be a great game.
And we see Cobb with the kickoff here. NOS kicking things off here. Returning it out near the 20. Gets a popcorn. First and 10, NOS. Single back formation. Randywags with Glenn, so going over position versus player. And if it was NOS, we know he'd be taking Bird every single play.
Yeah, exactly. That's a risky call. I'm surprised that he didn't take San Diego. Well, did he call it? I can't remember.
NOS calls this. So
okay, so that
higher
makes...
seed, yep.
Well, good for Randywags for taking DB2 out of the equation.
And we see Randy keeping it on the ground here, first down, NOS.
Randywags just must be more comfortable stop and run 3 from that guy. That's, from DB2.
And we see an early fumble here. Les Miller with the recovery out near the 47-yard line in Tampa Bay territory. So NOS with the early turnover. Randywags, let's see if he can capitalize here. Interesting decision to come in there with the linebacker. Looks like Randywags does have a tapping advantage, and Marion Butts is off to the races. 10-5 touchdown, Randywags with the San Diego Chargers. Marion Butts getting it down on the ground early and looks to have the tapping advantage. Let's see if this plays a factor throughout the rest of this one.
Now, see, I'm sure that was kind of a surprise to NOS, because I know I've played Randywags before, and I was kind of surprised by his tapping. NOS can tap in the 10 to 12 range. He's like very similar to me. I can tap between 10 and 12, and if I'm really focused, I can be a consistent 12. So Randywags is a pretty quick tapper.
And you can see just the game knowledge of an experience of NOS in that situation. If he had the taps, then he had the exact right play with that drone. And normally you'd say never take a linebacker with this team. But now we have another fumble bouncing around. And the Chargers back-to-back plays here. We have fumble recoveries. Not looking good here for NOS. Let's see if he can minimize the damage here. Going right back to that weak side open play. And this time he's using Roderick Thomas. Popcorn's the edge here. And bottles it up. Nice play there by NOS there to hold the run to 1 yard gain for Randywags.
That was an uncharacteristic, a lot of drone help. Pretty impressive how he maneuvered his guy around there to kind of lock him up, though.
Yeah, the 8 cardboard cutouts don't seem to do a whole, or essentially the 7 cardboard cutouts don't seem to do a whole lot for Tampa Bay at times, but there they get it done on second down, 3rd and 14. Randywags want to be careful here. You want to give up that 3 for sure. And Wisely just keeping on the ground, and I expect a field goal attempt out of this. Don't want to be thrown up against this secondary.
Well, not only that, but just if you can get a 2-possession lead in a Tecmo game anytime, do it.
Randywags with the John Carney field goal takes the lead, extends the lead rather, 10-0 over NOS. And the first quarter is not over yet. We already have 2 turnovers. Really nothing that NOS did improperly there. Completed a pass inbounds, was immediately engaged and fumbled. I don't even remember the circumstances of the other one, but I don't think it's something he could have controlled either. And now started the second quarter. Maybe a little early for back and B, but NOS can't be too conservative too long here.
Well, two things about, like, on the last play, where the second fumble NOS had, he was out of bounds. The ball even bounced around, like, out, you know how sometimes it will bounce out of bounds and then kind of be inbounds?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it did. So, kind of unlucky, and it's weird because NOS doesn't turn the ball over very much.
Nice jukes with Anderson there. Looked like to be about a 5-6 yard gain, and over 20 yards on that one. So, nice play. Anderson's a real weapon, even at this tier.
For sure. He has just enough MS to really cause you trouble. And something else to kind of be, you know, mentioned in this game, NOS is like a super veteran player. So he's not going to panic in this situation. He's going to stick to his game and play how he normally would play. So that's like a good kind of lesson, I feel like. You know, there's guys out there that are really good at it. He's one of them.
Dangerous play there right before that. We saw a Bruce Hill completion down to the 40-yard line. We have another called play here and a fumble here, and this is dangerous. Les Miller and his hitting power are going to go to work with this boost here. Expect these guys to bounce off him if they do touch him. And into the end zone. So Randy Wags here in the second quarter, up 16-0, soon to be 17-0. And the Tecmo gods have certainly hit NOS with the hammer.
Hey, I like NOS and everything, but this is just interesting to see because every time I've ever played NOS, it seems like I always have the bad luck. So this is crazy to me. He always, it's just super unlucky right now.
And for those of you that don't understand what just happened, with a called play when there's a turnover like that, the defensive players just continue to run around at fast speeds on that blitz, coupled with the hitting power of a lineman. It's like the equivalent of running a kickoff back with Craig Hayward.
Kind of. You know, Brood, I've talked to him lots of times about everything, as you know. And I think that the ROM is set up to where defensive players are 4 times faster than offensive players. You know, like how you can run up your speed and then your guy's like real fast. Well, that's comes into play, and on a turnover, that movement is replicated right there. So he was 4 times faster than the offense probably.
Great explanation there, Ryan. And we see NOS still, you know, just dinking and dunking here. He's getting the ball moving. Hopefully not another turnover for him coming up. We'll see if he can get some points on the board. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Underneath, dangerous throw, completes it to Bruce Hill.
At some point in time, NOS needs to throw it. As long as he's playing with those top guys, he needs to throw it up to the carrier.
And we're going to see the JJ attempt here. Perfect position by Randy Wags with his defender. Nice play.
That's what I'm talking about. That's really impressive to be able to be there for like a newer person.
Especially against Vinny, who probably has the most ideal trajectory with that combination of carrier with that route in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the only bad thing about Vinny in that situation is just that he has such a noodle arm that you have his PS is kind of garbage, so it gives you more time.
And this time it goes over his head. Looked like he might have a JJ there. And NOS experienced with that play for sure. And now we see a pass 3 incoming. Goes up to Carrier across the field. In the end zone, over to the head of Carrier and the defender. 3rd down coming up. 24 seconds left. Do you settle for a field goal in a situation like this if you have to?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do anything to get points on the board. And that's probably what NOS is going to do. You know, I don't know, I can't remember who got ball first. NOS got ball first, I think. But yeah, I would be kicking right now because this will be the last play.
You might just want to get a little closer here and looks like West because that's what he's going to do. So he needs 3 scores just to tie the game. And this isn't a gimme with Leslie O'Neal coming in. Block is no good and the kick is good. So 3:17 to close out the first half here. So there's a 2-touchdown swing here, and Randy Wags does take possession. Is that a situation where you might try an onside kick there?
No, I wouldn't, because Randy Wags hasn't shown that he can drive the ball down the field. He's had a short field. He's had all these fumbles. So NOS really hasn't had like a real defensive opportunity yet. So it's too early to onside kick it. I would see how I could fare with him on defense, and then, that I would do the same thing as Naj right now.
Run to the top there with Butts 9 yards. Broderick Thomas again on the bottom. And this time just wisely runs away from him, gets the first down for Randy Wags. And 3:54, already a minute expired here between the kickoff and 2 plays. Running right at Haddix, and no dive attempt there. Kind of that patented NOS dive we didn't see at that time. 2nd and 5. Not a bad situation there for NOS, giving up just 5 yards when the run goes right at him.
That was a good play.
NOS getting the taps drop on him, not ready for the tapping battle, and really surprises Randy Wags. Now we have 3rd and 8 coming up. Run 3 the call. Real gutsy play on 3rd down there, and 4th and 4, and we'll see. Looks like a punt coming here. Up 2 score is probably the right decision in this part of the field.
For sure, it's the right decision to just punt it away. Don't give him a short field, make him kind of earn it. And something that, Nas probably didn't know, I've played both of these guys, and Randy Wags is a real grinder. Like, he's going to take the clock, he's going to grind the game out. So that's just, you have to kind of know, Nas probably had never played him before. So, super interesting matchup. But now is when you need to see some stuff to Carrier. If he's not going to go down there and be Bird, you need to start throwing it up.
And let's see if he does that here, because O'Neal is there and Carrier is running down with no drone help. And up he goes. He should come down near the 20 or 10 yard line here. Nope, I'm completely off on that. Boy, he got down the field in a hurry. So almost a diving grab there and going right back to it. This time the drone also not going with him. Comes underneath the hill, and I think he just wants to make sure he has that first down.
I would have thrown it to Carrier.
Against Leslie O'Neal, I have to agree with you there. And having Hill there in the position, now we have Cobb fumbling it again.
Oh my goodness.
Gary Plummer out near the 50-yard line, so you can't buy a break if you're NOS today, it looks like, and sometimes that's Tecmo. Most of the time you can manage the occasional, usually both players get hit at some point with some sort of random chance that goes against you, but in this case, NOS seems to be getting all the bad breaks, and that's not to take anything away from Randy Wags here, but he certainly had a favorable position throughout the game here, and back to run 3, and gets out of bounds wisely. 2nd down and 7 for Randy Wags. 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
And this is just something to keep in mind, but a lot of people say this.
Risky throw there, but completes to Miller. You had to be almost frame perfect there. That very well could have been a jumping pick, but it's not. Anthony Miller with the strike from B.J. Tolliver. 23-3. Extra point incoming.
His angle was really important on that last play, too. But what I was getting at is, prior to that, is that for some reason, I'm not really sure what it is, but the Chargers drones are always good. It doesn't matter who they play. They're always fast. That's just kind of one of those things that I've seen from, and confirmed with smarter people than me. But yeah, the Chargers drones in this matchup, maybe that's part of the fumbles, that their drones are just so good.
Yeah, I don't know the math behind the fumble equation. I know that anytime you're below 50, it's a red flag. I don't know what the conditions of the players are at this particular moment, and again, called play NOS, having kind of a limited playbook here, having called this play multiple times to see if it looks like Randy Wags is sitting on it. He's going to say, "You're going to beat me with something else," over his head, and now we have ourselves a 4th down here, and you kind of have to go for it at this point. You're down 21 points in the 4th quarter with a run 3 here. Nice juke, gutsy call there. Getting the first down, moving the chains is NOS. And that's what happens when you use a Glenn. If you have to change direction, it can be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, this has just been a very impressive showing from Randy Wags.
And a CC here to Bruce Hill. Back back to pass 3 formation shotgun here. 2 guys open in the pattern. Back to Bruce Hill again. Having a pretty good game. Despite all of the turnovers, Bruce Hill is going to have some good numbers in this one. And sticking with this pass 3 here, so using Williams here, kind of a different choice there, using the defensive lineman in coverage. And now we have a single back formation back to Glenn. So it looks like Randywags really favors position over talent there. Diving grab there, perfectly timed by NOS to Reggie Cobb. So NOS finally gets a touchdown on the board from Vinny Testaverde to Cobb, and looks to be here. He can avoid the extra point block. He does, and it's 10-24. Now it just looks like an onside kick here.
For sure. And I think that the reason why you saw so many shotgun plays,
and he gets the recovery. So wow. This is actually a football game here.
I think that you keep seeing these shotgun plays is because I think that what NOS is seeing is Randywags is calling, that time he calls this play, but that drive before that, he was calling a lot of pass 1. And the reason why I'm speculating on that is because it seemed like NOS always had 2 guys open. And that will happen. If you call pass 1 on a shotgun play, you're going to have 2 guys open probably on the shotgun play, if that makes any sense.
Going back again to Bruce Hill. And this time, can't get the covered catch, and Seeley takes over for Randywags, who should be able to close this one out momentarily. To run 3 here, and Marion Butts in the clear for the 40, 45, or 44-yard line, out of bounds, 59 seconds left.
So what was it, 17 of the points scored in this game were off of fumbles?
Correct. And now we have a tap here. Marion Butts gets the first down. Clock winding down here, 36 seconds remaining in the fourth. 2 touchdown lead for Randywags, back to run 3. Nice dive there by NOS. We've seen that in the past. Turn a 10-yard gain into a dual loss. In the dive game here, he's so good with those DBs on the outside.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, the DB2. Typically, NOS prefers to be DB2, and he's phenomenal at dive tackling you on run 3. Seems like the drones are a little bit different on run 1.
3 seconds here remaining here in the fourth quarter. Expect the punches to close the game out here.
Wow, so that's the game, and that's a humongous win for Randywags.
Yeah, Randywags playing really well, 100% completion only for 46 yards, but like as you mentioned, the turnovers were just too much, and one of them going for immediate points, and the other 2 in deep territory. So I don't know if NOS can really get upset about this. There was really little that he could do. He made the best that he could. I guess if you want to say he technically had a chance at the end, but he had to throw it up against Seeley with Hill there, and that wasn't going to compute. So this is one of those games where you just have to say the gods were against me, and you have to move on. And in this case, moving on will be Randywags. NOS is officially eliminated from bracket play with this. Randywags will move on to play Rico. Rico, the winner of the first ever Tecmo Milwaukee tournament, also winner of a GBLAN event at the end of last year. So a very good player in his own right, who got beat by Lucky Tool in the winner's bracket. So they will be playing an elimination game that we'll be covering soon. So any closing thoughts from you on this one?
No, just an unlucky game for NOS and a great win for Randywags. He's a great new player, so I'm happy to see what he does in the rest of the tournament.
Well, thanks, guys, for sending us the upload so we can do the commentary. Thanks to Ryan for joining me here in the booth tonight. And thanks to everyone watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give us a thumbs down. Let us know your thoughts about the game in the comments section. If you want to see more of our games in this tournament, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll get alerted when new uploads happen. And we'll leave a link in the description to the bracket so you can see how things are developing. For Ryan11P, this is Trojan1979 signing off. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us on GBLAN Online Tecmo.